This video is powered by Manscaped.
Go to manscaped.com/fancam for 20% off your order and free shipping.
Keep your boys in top form with Manscaped.
I'm here with James. We've just seen a somewhat strange game. Arsenal 4, Leicester 2. James, what do you make of that?
You ever feel going into a game that the fan base is too comfortable? You ever feel that way? Sometimes it's like Arsenal wanted to remind everyone, no, hold on. We don't make life easy. It's a weird game because, I think the first thing to say, and I think the most important thing is, we did deserve to win that game. That wasn't a lucky, late winner that kind of sealed us 3 points and we got out of jail. I don't think it was anything like that. I think Arsenal were actually thoroughly deserving the 3 points. I think I read a stat that the 13 saves their goalkeeper, Hermanson, I think his name is, made today is the most in a Premier League game since apparently David De Gea at the Emirates all the way back in 2017 when he had the game of his life, or I think it was around then. So if that's true, and I just sort of glanced at it on Twitter now, then that just tells you we were up against a goalkeeper who we made work really hard. So it tells you we're doing something right. But the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the second half, concentration really dipped from the players. It's not... You can forgive the team that a deflection led to the back of our net. That can happen in football. You can also forgive that there's a wonder strike. But, Calafiore, who I thought had a really good game, didn't pick up Justin behind him. There was not enough for me from Partey and Timber to stop the cross in the first place. There was some sloppy pass in that in that second half where we were balling out in the first half and reminding everyone, hey, we can play great football. So my overriding feeling is we thoroughly deserved it, but I hope that the team have taken some wake-up calls from it too.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. In the first half, we got off to a flyer. We started really well. Martinelli scored. He could have had a hat-trick in that first half, really, but at the end of the first half, I was thinking to myself that either Arsenal are really good or Leicester are really bad. But we were in total control. So you're thinking in the second half, we'll press ahead and get a couple more goals, rest some players ahead of the PSG game. But the game turned within a minute with Leicester scoring. Yeah,
that first half, I really felt we were flexing and showing what we're about. I thought some of the football was sublime. The combinations, the 1-2s, the rotations, everything, the areas we got ourselves into and the chances we created. Martinelli could have scored before he eventually did get the opener. And there were quite a few moments like that. Saka and Timber were having so much fun down that right-hand side. There was lots to love. I thought Partey was brilliant in the first half and was kept us playing. Second half, I thought he was pretty terrible, actually. But what I think happened in that second half, Leicester, to be fair, showed real bravery. I want to give them credit. I think in the second half, they came to press, they came to take the game to us. At no point when they got that equaliser did I actually feel that they were comfortable to sit on it. I think they defended their goal when they needed to because we were attacking. And there were moments when they showed some endeavour to try and cause us problems the other way. And we had our rhythm kind of ruined. I think this sub Arteta made to get Nwaneri in midfield, what a cameo, by the way. We're going to talk about him in a bit. Move Rice back to the 6 and get Trossard, Nwaneri the side of Rice. I thought that was a brilliant substitution, but 15 minutes too late. We were saying on the watch-along, we called for that exact substitution on the watch-along because Partey had lost control. And if Partey isn't getting on the ball and dictating the tempo and getting us playing and pinging that ball into the areas where you want your attacking players to be making things happen, if he's not doing that, and then there's big gaps in midfield that they're running through, then he's no use to us in that particular game. Rice to cover ground, eat up ground, and let the attackers and creative players thrive a little bit more is what we needed. And when Nwaneri showed a little bit of that when he came on. But that's when I think we started to then... We were having chances throughout the second half, even with Partey on the pitch. Let me not be too harsh on Partey because we played very well and he was a part of that team. And like I said, I thought first half he was brilliant. But if there's one criticism for Arteta today, I think he was too late to really react, in my opinion.
Yeah, that accusation's been laid at his door before, to be honest. But I would agree with you.
Not this season. I think this season his player management, squad management, subs have been almost spot on. I've had nothing to complain about with Arteta all season, but I think today, I thought he slightly misjudged that. What do I know? Listen, I'm not a manager, but from my opinion, it was a touch too late. And when he made the subs, you could see the impact Nwaneri had. So maybe that should have come a touch sooner.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. Let's talk about two players whom a lot of people said going into today were big games for them. We had Martinelli on the wing and you had Trossard in the middle. Both guys needed good games. How do you think they got on today?
Yeah, and there was conversation about neither starting because some were saying that Martinelli's not having the season that people expected, so Sterling should get that place, and people were calling for Nwaneri because he looked so good in midweek. But I actually think this was the right decision from Arteta to go with those two. I think Trossard has actually done fine in the 10 against Tottenham, Man City, and in this game. I mean, obviously a couple of goals today makes it easy. Well, a goal and a deflected effort. But I thought that was right. Martinelli, though, came alive for me today. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still not the scintillating, devastating Martinelli we know, but I definitely felt he was a constant problem for them. And when he missed that first chance, I was actually very confident he'd score later, only because Martinelli's the kind of player that I worry more when he's not getting the chances. When he is, he's proven that he's good enough with goals at Anfield and other goals in big games. He's proven that he doesn't really, I don't think he's flustered in front of goal. I just don't think he's an elite finisher, so he's going to miss some. Today he took his other chance, which was a really good finish. Could have had maybe another one in the game, but I thought he did well. He was dangerous. Second half faded, and we made the sub, and you bring on Sterling, and that's why you have a good squad.
And with Trossard, I thought it took a while to get into the game. I was watching it, and I didn't really see him do too much. But to be fair to him, as the game went on, he grew into the game, and of course he had some telling moments. Yeah,
I mean, of course, the goal that puts us 2-0 up is, Trossard ghosting into that penalty area, and he's just got such an eye for goal. I think what was strange is that he was drifting into midfield, but at times it felt like he was a false line. Him and Havertz sort of seemed to be alternating between who was leading the line and who wasn't. There's definitely a good understanding between them, but today I felt it actually took away from Havertz. Whether it added to the team in another way, I don't know. But Havertz's overall performance I actually thought was okay, but we kept finding him out on the touchline in wide areas, and it was just frustrating because you want him as the focal point. And one time we did get into the box, he actually pulled off a really brilliant piece of skill and then forced a really good save, and Gary Neville's joined our fan camp. But yeah, ultimately, Havertz was. Sorry, that totally threw me. Havertz was okay, but Trossard, had a big moment, putting us 2-0 up and then winning the game. So good on him.
So we know that City dropped some points today. So let's face it, it was a somewhat, as I said, a strange game. We got there in the end. We got the win. Personally, I always thought that we would win. Yeah. I know that may sound, a bit revisionist after the game's done, but I was watching it elsewhere. And even when we went into extra time, I just had that feeling that Arsenal would pull the game out and get the win, which they did. They got 4 in the end. A good day then for Arsenal. Yeah. We might not have been saying that had they not have got the 2 goals late, but it is a good day for Arsenal, yeah?
Well, this was a unique weekend in the calendar where you've got City going to Newcastle, you've got Tottenham Man United later going on. Chelsea, Brighton's a good game that we wanted to enjoy as well. At the time of recording, Wolves are hosting Liverpool. So it was one of those where we had on paper significantly the easier fixture. We wanted to get it done so we could go enjoy these other great contests going on around the Premier League and see rivals take points off each other. People forget that Brighton were undefeated, I think, going into this weekend. I might be wrong, but I think they were undefeated. So, there was lots of good clashes, and I'm glad that we get to enjoy them now. What's happened, what's to come, match of the day, all that, because Arsenal got their job done. I mean, look, I want to say that I don't want to live in this really sterile world where Arsenal are so good that they win every game 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. A, football's not like that, and B, you can have an off day or you can have moments that go against you. And so, listen, Arsenal had problems today. We were, obviously, we were 2-0 up and we went back to 2-2. But we scored a late goal and that brings a euphoria in another way and loads of fun. And we can enjoy it. So well done, Arsenal. They dug deep.
And one final question. I mean, if you were to be objective and say who was man of the match, you would have to say the Leicester goalkeeper was outstanding today. But from an Arsenal point of view, any player that particularly stood out?
I don't know.
Because to be fair to you, that is not an easy question, because I've been having conversations with a few people post-match and everyone's scratching their head.
I think it's Trossard for the moments that ultimately win us the game. I think it was Calafiori if it wasn't for the moment he had, or the second goal. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh, but I feel like he could have had a better eye on what was behind him.
Some people would say he's lucky to stay on the pitch, because
I think the Leicester
that incident in the second half. Yeah, you're right, but some referees might have gone for it.
Some might have given
that being said, it was even up a little bit because Skip could have got a second yellow. But to go back to our original question,
give to Trossard just because he won us the game. His moments won us the game. So Trossard.
Okay, I'm good with that. Thanks, James.